So we have been talking about how to have great color, and one of the things that I shared last week was that your makeup game will never be a 10 if your skincare game is a 2. So I wanted to expound on that point just a little bit to talk about basic skincare. Now here would be, the ideal is that you would spend the next 10-15 minutes with me and feel like you could walk into any store or you could go online and have a little bit better understanding of what you need and why you need it. So this morning I went to the market. I just went down the skincare aisle because I want to put myself in the position of, I hear most of my clients say to me that the whole idea of developing a skincare strategy can be very intimidating. It can be overwhelming. And I just walking down the skincare aisle this morning, I was like, oh my goodness, I do this for a living. Like I teach people how to develop their own skincare strategy, and I'm overwhelmed walking down this aisle. And I thought, okay, I'm going to imagine that I'm here with one of my clients and I want to walk you through how to determine what skincare is best for you. Like, what do you really, really need? This became more important to me when I was probably my early 30s. I had a couple of pregnancies under my belt. My skin had changed, my hormones had changed. All these factors began to contribute to the look and the texture of my skin. And I was like, that same cleanser that I've been using for the last, decade or so is just not as effective. And just know this, your skincare is not something that you just set it and forget it. It's not something that you just, put on lock at some point in your teen years or your early 20s and go, all right, we got that, we're good. It's something that as your skin changes, you want your skincare routine to change along with it. So as I was walking in your shoes down the skincare aisle this morning, here were the thoughts that I came away with that I hope will help you the next time you are shopping for your skincare. Now, I want us to keep it super simple. Okay, so I'm gonna lay the foundation for you. First we lay a foundation and then we get fancy. Okay, so foundation, you need 2 things. You need a good cleanser and you need good hydration. These 2, you should not use one without the other. So I want you to imagine that, I want you to think about the windshield of your car. Think about how many times you have to do the fluid, and kind of clear out some of that dirt and pollen and just all those elements that build up on your windshield. All of these things are also building up on the surface of your face. So twice a day, just like brushing your teeth, morning and night, you need a good cleanser to remove all of that. You think about how many times a day if you wear glasses, how many times a day you take your glasses and wipe your glasses. I don't have mine with me, but okay, we want to keep the surface of our skin clear of all of that dirt, debris that we, it's there. Even if it doesn't look like your windshield, it's there, I promise you. So that's one thing we want to get rid of. So cleanse and pairing with a good hydration. This is really hand in glove. I want to bust a myth first and foremost. I hear people say to me, well, I have oily skin, therefore I don't need moisturizer, or I don't need hydration because my skin is already, moist enough. Okay, that is not the purpose and the intent of hydration. So all a moisturizer or a hydrating system does is regulate the moisture of your skin. So if you have oily skin and you say you do cleanse your face, but then you don't hydrate, because your skin is not properly regulating the oil production on its own, it will overcompensate for a lack of moisture, therefore making it more oily, therefore clogging your pores even more. So then it just becomes a vicious cycle. So all we want to do is we want to apply a hydrating product that is going to regulate your skin's moisture. That's so that it won't overproduce oil or underproduce oil, because either way, that is going to impact your skin, which is ultimately going to impact how your makeup looks. So if you hear nothing else, if you do nothing else for your skin, you want a good cleanser and you want a good hydrating project. Can I just say project and you'll just know that I mean product? Okay, so a couple of terms that I want to throw out at you to be on the lookout for. When you're shopping for your skincare, you want it, the label should say that it is non-comedogenic. Non-comedogenic simply means that it won't clog your pores. It's not going to block your pores. That's first and foremost. Then I would recommend that it also reads hypoallergenic. That is going, now there are some exceptions, but hypoallergenic skincare is, you're going to have less chance of having an allergic reaction. So, reaction's not likely. I wrote the notes for today's live on the back of a second grade newsletter, so you can tell what kind of a week it has been. Okay, so we've got a cleanser, we've got our moisturizer, and we're looking for non-comedogenic, hypoallergenic. Okay, then we start to customize it a little bit. And by customize it, I mean you are shopping for a cleanser and a hydration system that's consistent with your skin type. So skin type, I want you to imagine a spectrum, okay? So we've got normal skin in the middle. This is not too dry, not too oily. Or skin can trend a little more on the oily side in the T-zone. I will explain the T-zone in just a minute if that's a new term for you. Or it will trend on the dry side, okay? So knowing what your skin type is, if it trends combination oily or trends more normal to dry, is already going to help you filter all of the products that are thrown your way. And so I mentioned the T-zone. Your T-zone, the T-zone of your face is exactly what it sounds like. It is this zone here that it consists of your forehead, your nose, and your chin. Okay, so like the letter T. Now this zone is typically how you can identify what your skin type is. Your T-zone is this, and forehead, nose, chin. Typically, if that zone trends more oily, the likelihood is that you have combination skin, combination oily skin. If this tends to dry out, then you likely have dry skin. So your skin will tell you. If you're still not certain, one way to tell is next time you wash your face, don't apply anything else. Don't apply any kind of moisturizer, toner. Wait to apply your makeup. Wait like 20 minutes after you cleanse. So cleanse and do nothing else. If after 20 minutes you start to notice that these areas are more oily than they start to overproduce that oil, then you have oily skin. If after 20 minutes your face starts to feel like dry and tight and like I feel like it feels like nylon, then that likely means that you have dry skin. So that's going to help you be able to automatically go to the products that are for your skin type. Okay, so we've talked about a couple of important just general terms and guidelines and shopping for your skin type. Okay, let's talk a few exceptions briefly. So By skin exceptions, I am going to highlight just 3 exceptions. Now, I'm not a dermatologist. If this is so, there are exceptions that you definitely should seek the advice. It'd be worth it to go visit a dermatologist. But I'm speaking generally. There are exceptions that when you're shopping for your skincare, you should keep in mind. And the first is if you have sensitive skin. So if you have practiced skincare in the past and you noticed I had a really adverse reaction to this type of ingredient, most of the time it boils down to fragrances, dyes, parabens. So I would seek out products that are either labeled for sensitive skin or that are on the cover feature free of dyes, parabens, and fragrances. You're going to have less of a chance of having a reaction. Now I want to speak to the term reaction because this is something that I hear often too when somebody tries new skincare and they're like, I had a reaction. Let's sort of classify a reaction a little bit. If you are someone who is, your skin is not used to you don't take care of your skin on a regular basis. There's not really like a consistency there. Just like maybe you feel the first time you go for a run after a long time of not working out, your muscles are like sore and they're burning and you're not like, whoa, it's because it's like, oh, hey, we haven't worked like this in a really long time, if ever. So it's the same thing with your skincare. If your skin is not regularly cleansed, exfoliated and hydrated, it's natural for you to maybe have like, ooh, that tingles or even burns a little bit, or for you to experience even more like maybe a breakout. You're like, where did that come from? And it's because your skin's adjusting. This is what our bodies do. Whenever we introduce anything new, even if it's good for us, it goes, wait a second, what are you doing? So now that is different, having like a little extra breakout or feeling like, oh, that kind of tingled in a weird way is different than, oh my gosh, my whole face broke and neck broke out in hives, or my eye area is swollen, or that's different. Now that's a reaction. And that's something definitely I would say, don't use that again. But if it's just your skin's adjusting, then that's okay. Usually it takes about 2 weeks for your skin to kind of get with 2 weeks of consistent use. I can tell you this is my expert opinion, that your skincare will disappoint you 100% of the time if it stays in the bottle. So that means that you have to be consistent with it, and that is just a morning and night routine. Okay, so sensitive skin, look for it on the label, suitable for sensitive skin, and make sure it's free of the common allergens like dyes and fragrances. Okay, let's talk a little bit about acne-prone skin. Most of the time, acne-prone skincare will sort of be in its own sub-genre, either on the shelf or if you're shopping online. Because acne-prone skin does have it's an exception in its own that needs certain ingredients to acne-fighting ingredients. So when you're shopping for acne-prone products to help with acne, you're going to want to make sure that listed in the ingredients are salicylic acid and benzoyl peroxide. So those are your key acne-fighting ingredients. So acne sufferers, I want you to know that I wholeheartedly sympathize with you. As a teenager, I should post a picture once. I had terrible cystic acne my entire teenage years, and as a result had a lot of scarring, a lot of my skin tone and texture was super uneven, and then I know hormones in pregnancy that can then trigger onset adult acne. And then that's a whole other just, it's frustrating, it's painful, but it's treatable. Now, when I say acne prone, I mean like occasional breakouts or time of the month, ladies, you know what I mean? Time of the month tends to trigger, breakouts, a hormonal thing. Typically if you get acne along, this area, this is a hormonal thing. And so this is definitely something to speak to to speak about hormonal balancing, and definitely to talk to an expert when it comes to that. But so acne prone treatments for acne prone skin, if they include salicylic acid and benzoyl peroxide, you're going to have a better bet of getting rid of like that pesky acne that just like, it just kind of flares up. Now, if you have persistent cystic acne, if you know you're consistent, if you know that you are using a cleanser and a hydrator that is formulated for your skin type, and you've got all the ingredients and you're still seeing no results, please go see a dermatologist, or go see a hormone specialist. I would recommend that too. And finally, I want to talk to you about aging skin. Now, our bodies naturally, our collagen production starts to slow down when we are in our 20s, early 20s. So collagen is what keeps your skin, it's like I say, it gives your skin that bounce back. It's what keeps your skin elastic and plump and free of the fine lines and wrinkles. Well, as your body's as that production starts to slow, then it becomes important that we get smart, and we start to integrate ingredients that are going to boost collagen, that are going to slow. There's nothing we can do about aging, nothing we can do about it, but we can slow that process. We can prevent premature aging. And so you are going to want to then get a little bit more versed on skincare ingredients. Okay, it gets a little bit nuanced once you reach your early 20s and 30s. It starts to get a little bit more nuanced, where you're going to want to include and look for products that include vitamin C, vitamin B3, peptides. Retinol is a derivative of vitamin A that thins the skin, and it helps to reduce the look of fine lines and wrinkles. So these are some ingredients that you're going to see most skincare brands do market serums and supplements and boosters that have these anti-aging ingredients in it. And I'd like to teach you how to shop for it. But if you can find a cleanser and a hydration that includes any of those ingredients, like I said, vitamin B3, peptides,